All right, everybody, welcome back. Today we are going deep on an ocean mystery.
Ooh, I like mysteries.
Yeah, so do I. And this one is about New Zealand's rarest whale. It's called the spade-toothed whale, or Ōnumii.
And it really is rare, right? Like before this year, there were only 7 sightings ever officially confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, that is crazy. So you can imagine, everyone was really excited when one washed up on a beach.
Wait, actually, it was on New Zealand's Taiari River.
Oh, okay, on the river in July. And this
Yeah.
wasn't just like a sighting. This is a huge opportunity.
Totally, because now all of a sudden researchers have this 16-foot whale right there in front of them.
Wow, 16 feet. Is that longer than a car?
Yeah, it's longer than most cars and it weighs over 3,000 pounds. So they're doing all kinds of research, like dissections and even CT scans to try to understand it better.
So what are they hoping to learn about this whale?
One of the biggest things is how it uses sound, because in the deep ocean, it's completely dark.
Right. So sound is like their main way to do everything.
Exactly, like to navigate, to find food, and to talk to each other.
So if we can figure out how Numia communicates, then we can learn a lot about his whole world.
Yeah, things like their social behavior, do they hang out in groups? How far do they travel? And even how they've adapted to survive in the deep ocean.
That's amazing. And the article also mentioned that the local Māori community is involved in the research.
Oh yeah, definitely the Te Runanga Ostako. And that's so important because whales are really important in New Zealand's indigenous culture.
I can see how that makes sense to have different perspectives on this.
Yeah, and it really emphasizes how protecting these animals is everyone's responsibility. It's not just a science thing.
For sure. Now, I was reading through the comments on the article and I saw someone asking if the article was maybe exaggerating the mystery a bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a good point. There's a balance between getting people interested and being too sensational.
I think this whale is pretty interesting on its own.
Definitely. I mean, it's not every day that a whale this mysterious washes up on shore, and it gives us a really unique chance to learn more about them.
Totally. And I think what makes this research so fascinating is
So what makes this research so fascinating is that it's not just about filling in the gaps in our knowledge about Ōnumii. It's about potentially changing what we know about whales in general.
really. So are we talking about discovering new behaviors or adaptations?
It could be both. You see, the spade-toothed whale is so unique, so different from other whales, that studying it could challenge some of our basic assumptions about how whales evolved and how they behave.
Okay, so it's like finding a missing piece of a puzzle that changes the whole picture.
Exactly. Every piece of data they get from this Ōnumii could have ripple effects across all of marine biology.
Wow, so this is about way more than just one whale.
Yeah, for sure. It
Sure.
could impact how we see and protect the whole ocean.
That makes sense. And, to do that, we need to work together, right? Like the article talked about the different groups involved.
Totally. Having marine biologists, anthropologists, the Māori community, that's what's going to make this research really groundbreaking.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But have there been any challenges in getting those groups to work together? I mean, they probably have different priorities and ways of doing things.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's not always easy. Different fields have their own ways of working their own language even.
Right.
But I think the shared goal of understanding and protecting Ōnumii has really helped.
That's great to hear. It shows that we can work together to protect our planet.
Absolutely. And speaking of working together, what can regular people do to help protect whales and their habitats? I mean, it feels like such a big problem.
Yeah, I feel that way too sometimes. What can I actually do that will make a difference?
Well, first think about the choices you make. As a consumer, are you supporting companies that care about the ocean? Are you buying seafood that's sustainable?
Okay, so being a conscious consumer.
Got it.
What else?
Another big one is reducing your carbon footprint. Even small things like using less energy or taking public transport can help.
Right, because climate change is a huge threat to marine life. Okay, so conscious consumer, lower my carbon footprint. Anything else?
Yeah, supporting organizations that are dedicated to ocean conservation can make a big difference.
That's a good idea. There's so many groups doing important work.
Exactly. And don't forget about just spreading awareness. Talk to your friends and family. Get them excited about protecting the ocean.
You know what? You've actually made me feel more hopeful. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the big picture.
I get it, but there are things we can do, and every little bit helps.
Okay, so I'm feeling inspired, but before we wrap up, I have to ask, what's the one thing you're most curious to learn about Numia?
That's a tough one. But if I had to choose, I'd say I'm fascinated by their social structures. Like, how do they communicate with each other? Do they have families like other whales? What are their migration patterns like?
Those are great questions. I bet researchers can spend years studying them.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of science. It's all about exploring and asking questions and discovering new mysteries.
And it seems like with Numia, we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah, the ocean is such a vast and mysterious place. Who knows what else is out there?
Right? Like, if a whale this big could go unnoticed for so long, what else is down there?
I know, it's kind of mind-blowing, isn't it? There could be like whole species or even like entire ecosystems that we have no clue about.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting and a little scary.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a reminder that we still don't know everything about our own planet and that it's important to keep exploring and asking questions.
It makes that comment from Evangeline even more interesting. Like, maybe the mystery isn't just about Numia itself, but about the ocean as a whole.
Yeah, I think you're right. This one discovery has like opened up a whole world of possibilities for everyone, not just scientists.
It's like Numia is a symbol that there's always more to learn and more to protect.
Totally. And it's a good reminder that even now, like with all the information we have, there are still amazing stories out there that can like spark our curiosity and make us appreciate the planet.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this?
I would say never stop being curious because that's what drives us to learn and to make a difference. So keep asking questions, keep learning, and let yourself be amazed by the world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And until next time, keep exploring.